What the hell is happening?
This man's the killer!
Episode 1. The team prepares to head for Lieutenant Tsurumi, but Sugimoto is nowhere to be found. As they wait, Shiraishi gets shot in the leg and everyone takes cover. Dude took break a leg too personally. They think it's Ogata, and while Tsukishima distracts the sniper, Sugimoto fights him off, only to find that he's not Ogata but a mute. He shares the same goal with Sugimoto though, and they exchange information before parting ways. On the flip side, Kadokura and Kirawus go searching for Hijikata. They end up on an ice field, where Kadokura finds a clue. He gets poisoned fish from Seikiya, but he falls on the ice, fish in hand. Fortunately, Kadokura has always had bad luck, and so the fish fall into the water. Episode 2. Seikiya sends Kadokura a threat letter, wanting to exchange a comatose Hijikata for the map skins they have. He'd better not sleep on this deal. They meet up on a frozen lake where Seikiya asks Kadokura to strip. He smells foul play and makes a run for it, running into Ushiyama as he pops his head out of the lake. Kadokura strikes out, and Seikiya escapes. Kadokura tracks down Seikiya to a silkworm farm. There, they gamble their lives. Seikiya makes Kadokura choose a coating. If it ends up being poison, Seikiya promises to save Hijikata's life, and if not, Kadokura would die. Definitely a win-win for death. Kadokura loses but consumes Wolfsbane alongside the poison, and it cancels it out. As promised, Seikiya digs up Hijikata, and to his surprise, Hijikata immediately cuts off his ear after exiting the coffin. Seikiya bleeds to death afterward. Told ya. Episode 3. Kikuta, Nikaido, Usami, and Ariko are all wounded soldiers from the 7th Division. They spend some time at the hot springs to recover. 4 nude men staring each other down, normal stuff. Whilst there, Ariko tells them about a man he'd seen in Ainu clothing, and because of this, they plan to find the tattooed prisoner so they can gift him to Lieutenant Tsurumi. They have no idea it's the spring masseuse, until they face off with him later that night. Usami gets his leg shot as they carry the battle to a cave filled with stalagmite. Now, tripping, the masseuse manages to escape, but Ariko, knowing the mountains, chases him down and defeats him using an avalanche. He extracts the tattooed skin and waits until Kikuta finds him. Episode 4. Koito Otonoshi had first met Lieutenant Tsurumi when he was 14, and they had a snack together at the cemetery. They promised that if they meet again, they'd be friends. 2 years later, Otonoshi gets kidnapped and his father hires Tsurumi to help track him down. You say fate, I say BS. Him and Mr. Koito plan a strategy involving using the phone lines to locate the kidnappers. It works, and they track Otonoshi down. Upon seeing that Tsurumi is his savior, Otonoshi chooses to join the army under his tutelage. Episode 5. Tsurumi sends word for Sugimoto and the rest of the team to wait for him for 2 weeks, so they have time on their hands. A wristwatch. Asirpa and Sugimoto come in contact with cinematographers and save them from wolverines. Afterwards, Sugimoto leverages this and makes them help Asirpa with documenting some of her Ainu tales. She does the directing and presses everyone to play their role right. They later sit to watch her film, and she sees her parents from 10 years ago at the end of the clip. Asirpa gets emotional, and Sugimoto steps out to console her. Episode 6. Kikuta and Ariko present the skin of the masseuse to Tsurumi. He smells a rat, and true to his thoughts, he discovers Ariko is a spy for Hijikata. Gotta be a bad one to get caught. Tsurumi threatens Ariko's family and makes him a double agent, sending him back to Hijikata with fake skin maps and quite a beating. Hijikata can instantly tell that the maps are fake, but plans to use them anyway. Meanwhile, Sugimoto and the team plan to meet Tsurumi at Karafuto. Chikapasi doesn't follow them because of his love for Inonoken. The things we do for love. It's one day left to meet Tsurumi, and Otonoshi challenges Tsukishima about the Manchurian Railway. Just like Ogata had suggested, Tsukishima reveals that everything was staged, down to Otonoshi's kidnap. Episode 7. The team finally meets Tsurumi, but all he's interested in is Asirpa because she can decode the map. She notices that their missions don't align and makes a run for it alongside Sugimoto. They get surrounded, and Sugimoto defeats them all. Immortal Sugimoto for a reason. The mute sniper from earlier helps them until they all board a ship. Tsurumi follows them to sea, and they abandon the ship, continuing on the snowy land. They finally arrive in Hokkaido with the help of some strange sailors. Episode 8. In Hokkaido, rumors spread of gold in the lake. When Shiraishi and Sugimoto hear this, they pack up to go search for some. There, they save Haita's life, and he shows them quicker ways to find gold, even introducing them to platinum, which they start searching for instead. Just then, a bear attacks. Asirpa tries hunting for it, but they eventually discover that Haita has been the bear all along. Beware of Haitas in bear clothing, with a history as a prison inmate with mental issues. Haita has been killing innocent people. He finally kills himself in a battle against Sugimoto. Episode 9. Tanigaki gets left behind. He's tracked down by Tsurumi, who threatens to kill Inkarmat, his pregnant wife, unless he retrieves Asirpa for him. Meanwhile, Asirpa and Co. are busy drying out Haita's tattoo skin when they find the platinum he'd gathered. Word gets out about a prisoner who'd found gold in the Shikotsu River. Usawa, the Butaro pirate, capable of holding his breath for 35 minutes. Dude is immune to farts. Apparently, Usami had killed his friend in Tsurumi's presence, and he'd helped him keep it a secret, saying the true way to make loyal soldiers is to get them to love you. Coming from a serial killer, super dependable advice, guys. Episode 10. Tsukishima catches wind of Tanigaki's plan to flee with his 9-month pregnant wife. He'd tracked her down to a new hospital where he sought to escape with her, but was interrupted by Tsukishima. Luckily, Tsukishima gets drugged by the nurse, and Tanigaki takes this chance to run. Unfortunately, his bleeding leads Tsukishima right back to him. The way of the boomerang. As they flee, Inkarmat's water breaks, and Tanigaki has to take her to see Asirpa's grandmother, Uchi. Tsukishima tracks them down still and almost takes Tanigaki's life, but Otonoshi talks him out of it. A week later, both men let Tanigaki and his new family escape. Episode 11. Hijikata, Ogata, and Ariko arrive at Sapporo after hearing about the tattooed pirate. They set out to find him. On the flip side, Sugimoto and co are looking for any man with tattoos. They get fed false information multiple times and make up their minds to just go to Sapporo. When in doubt, just go to Sapporo. They happen to run into Bataro the pirate on the ship transporting them. He'd been searching for Ainu gold too. They get into it, and Sugimoto fights Bataro for trying to harm Asirpa. It turns out the pirate's tattoos are pointless, and all he wants is to make his own country. Sugimoto needed company too, since he'd lost his entire family to tuberculosis. Episode 12. As their ship arrives at Ibetsu, Bataro discovers that he's been their target from the beginning and attacks Sugimoto. Both men fall into the water, and Bataro keeps trying to drown Sugimoto. A swarm of Yuppei attacks them, and Sugimoto escapes. Unfortunately, Bataro's hair gets caught in the boat engine. Sugimoto dives back in and saves his life. He proposes that Bataro share information with him, and the pirate concurs. Kikuta and Usami chase the prostitute killer, and Usami uses masturbation to pinpoint him. They have a literal jerk-off, ducking and dodging milk shots until the killer takes off and hops on a horse. Kikuta jumps and gets close to catching him, but the killer shoots a milk shot into his eyes, and the killer escapes only for him to take 2 more lives. Kikuta turns out to be a government agent, and tries to recruit Ariko to his side. They discover that the killer is a copycat of Jack the Ripper, and they have 40 days to catch him. Episode 13. Kikuta and Usami head back to the crime scene. Usami gets talking about how Ogata had killed his brother and father, and Tsurumi still didn't love him. Damn. Bataro tries to source information from Shiraishi, but he doesn't have any information to share, mainly because no one trusts his ass. Bataro then tosses him a gold coin with similar markings as their tattoos. Asirpa and Sugimoto go hunting and get caught under falling trees. Even trees are falling, but you're not. Back in town, Sophia comes looking for Asirpa, but runs into Ogata and Usami instead. She stops herself from doing anything rash. Shiraishi comes to Asirpa's rescue and discovers that she knows the code to find the gold. Shiraishi then hands her the coin from earlier on. She recognizes it to be Ainu. She tells Sugimoto that Akka didn't kill the Ainu people, and she is certain of what she has to do. It's not sitting around watching anime, that's for sure. If you made it this far in the video, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and like the damn video on your way out.